Greetings and salutations, folks. Oh, hold on. Welcome back to Assassin's Creed Odyssey. What do we got here? Shani the Gifted. Welcome back to Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where last time we... Is that another mercenary? Oh, but he's way too tough for me. Where last time we actually dealt with the traitorous king of Sparta, reacquiring our former Spartan citizenship. Right now we're heading off to where it all began, as the quest states. Although I suppose the phrase "where it all began" is a little bit odd, considering the fact that this game begins with a separate prologue unrelated to Cassandra, specifically. In that we see... There are a lot of people walking... There we go. In which we see Leonidas mid-fight. And what it really is... Oh my god! After I stabbed that guy, blood sprayed on her face. I didn't even... Oh, no, no! Damn it! I didn't even know that was possible. Your bright blade is making very short work of me indeed. Anyway. So the game begins with this kind of frame in which you see Leonidas and you see his spear while it's still intact. And then we go to the present time and we see the spear now broken. And then from there we are introduced to Cassandra being thrown from the mountain. Oh, Exekius the Legend is the finale of the mercenaries. In our time, one Misthios was feared above all, forever present, forever undefeated. Age would not dull his edge, nor rust his hammer's head. Behind Exekius the Legend was a trail of desolation and the eerie silence of death. Travels the world with a bear companion, takes less damage from assassination. Interesting. Also, he's basically the... Like, if the world of Mad Max became Greek, then he's the lead villain. But, alright, so that's the finale of the mercenary route, although I'm still a ways away from challenging him, as I'm still only level 42, and he is a level 50. And let's meet up with Marine and see if we can get some closure to some of this, despite the fact that Deimos killed Brasidas.
You've been gone so long. Brasidas is dead. No. Deimos killed him in battle. And what of my son? Cleon fired an arrow into Deimos' back. Wound didn't look fatal. He could still be alive.
Malakas, Cleon. I'll kill him with my bare hands.
It's done, Mater. I already sent that snake to the sticks.
My family. You're all I have left.
Mater, there's something I need to do. I need to go to Mount Tayetos, where it all began. My whole life has been spent fighting and running. Running from my past, fighting to...
Will this lead up to a final confrontation with Alexios, considering that he might feel that he has been betrayed by Cleon?
I need to put that night behind me. Once and for all.
I'm coming with you.
It's not. I'm not really escorting her if she's ahead of me. It's like it's not really an escort in that case. Although I wonder if I'm gonna have to fight anybody on the way there. It wouldn't really make sense if I did. Yep.
This is where everything changed. It's like I never left.
I knew he'd be there.
Alexios!
On the edge of the world, a mother calls out to her child. Touching.
Alexios. Please.
You use that name as if it means something to me.
It's the name your father and I gave you.
Was that before or after you brought me to this mountain to die?
It was the cult. I tried to save you. I did everything. The priest told me you were dead.
And they told me you abandoned your son.
Alexios,
So they lied to both of us.
we are your family. We can go home.
Family?
You can even log into our Wi-Fi. Watch Netflix with us.
My sword is my family. The battlefield is my home.
I promised to bring him back, Mater. But the cult has poisoned his mind.
Promised to bring me back to Mater, did you? You didn't bring me.
Then why are you here?
Why don't you tell our Mater the truth?
And what truth is that?
That I'm the chosen one. I'm the one with a destiny. I will bring order to this world. You're nothing but a mercenary with a broken spear.
The cult is using you, or you don't need the cult. I mean, both of these statements are true. The cult is using you.
You don't have a destiny! You are just a tool used by the cult!
I'm glad you said that. Since we first met, I've been trying to figure out what you are to me.
Your sister?
You're a weed, trying to choke and destroy everything I've planted. And you know the best way to kill a weed
With Weed Killer.
is at the root.
Alexios?
When I was little, I found a lion cub trapped in a snare. My friend tried to free it. That's when I heard the deadly growl of its mother. I watched as the lioness tore my friend to bloody shreds. Even in the world of beasts, a family protects its young.
I loved you!
But even in that example, the lioness screwed up because the lioness should have been waiting for the friend to free the cub.
My destiny
But
is
by
clear,
killing the friend,
and I won't
the cub is still snared.
my way.
So,
Alexios? Listen to me. You are my brother. I tried to protect you once,
and I failed. I will not fail again.
And then a jarring loading screen. Ugh, he's so angry. Ugh.
This belonged to our grandfather. You're home now.
I've done terrible things.
Like killing those random Spartans.
We all have an
And Brasidas. And yeah, I suppose we've killed a whole bunch of people as well, so I don't think Cassandra is necessarily any less guilty than Alexios is, considering the fact that, especially throughout the game, she's capable of playing both sides against each other too.
I know.
So and then she returns it to its invisible holster,
Cassandra,
where it can float freely behind her back.
thank you.
I am pretty awesome, as I keep saying. I wonder if that's the ending to the main story, and then the next part is going to be dealing with the cultists. Ah. And I got his armor. Excellent. All right, let's take a look at the cultist map. The ghost is a liar. Imagine that. Okay, so I actually have 2 more main quests for the story before I really need to worry about dealing with the cultists. First, back home with the family. I wonder if the dad is going to be here as well. Ooh, the stepdad. And is that
Sometimes the face we show to the world
Stentor?
needs to be one of strength, despite the chaos we harbor beneath.
There's more to being the best than pure strength.
That's an excuse for the weak.
I'll show you who's weak.
Okay, this seems like a really, really odd.
Well, at least the family is all together.
Oh, because it's now the stepdad and the stepdad's son, which is Stentor. Although the Atlantean dad is still in Atlantis.
That wasn't so bad, was it?
I can't believe I have a family again.
The gods work in mysterious ways. You never know what they have planned.
I'll see, here's the thing. I would argue that I did this myself, but Barnabas is a very, faithful man, so I feel like staying on his good side.
Someone's kept their eye on me.
You're special. Look at the life they've blessed you with. Not so bad, if you think of it all.
That's optimistic, considering.
Just remember, no matter who surrounds you, I'll be there. And the others are waiting for us on the ship.
Oh yeah, and the other people, the other ship crew. But there's me. Odyssey's End. Oh, New Game Plus is now available. I am not going to be doing New Game Plus. Ooh. Now I have Alexios, Marine, Nikolos, and Stentor as ship lieutenants. That's pretty cool. Now, I suppose I still have a lot of options left to me in regards to what to do. Aside from just the cultists, which are still out there. There are the pieces of Atlantis. There's actually a new Atlantis quest that opened up. Somebody I'm supposed to pledge to. I don't know if I'm ready to do that just yet. But I could, so I might. There are also various side quests. There is the quest I was going to be doing for the sculptor, which requires going to the different statues in the world. So, there are a lot of choices. Plus, there are still viewpoints I haven't found, like this one I'm heading to right now. It's kind of interesting. Like, I was reading an article earlier the other day about accessibility in video games in regards to difficulty. They were talking about how in Sekiro, shadows die twice. Like, it is less accessible to gamers due to its difficulty. And those articles kind of come about every time From Software releases a game. And I'm sure it happened with Demon's Souls, and, well, probably not Demon's Souls so much because it was still kind of, it was still more underground. It wasn't quite as mainstream, and as big of a release, should I say. But with Dark Souls especially, and then Dark Souls 2, and Dark Souls 3, and Bloodborne, there were definitely those articles that came around saying, as the difficulty of these games hampering their accessibility, and that is not exactly something I want to necessarily talk about right now. But what I'd rather talk about is the size of video games hampering accessibility. Like, has there ever been a point in time in which you've looked at playing a game and you've decided not to? Not because it's hard, not because it's bad, but because it is so huge. It is such a gigantic game. There's so much going on to it. You realize you just don't have the time to invest in that sort of thing. Like, you don't get into MMOs because the amount of time you would require to invest into that is... Like, that's one thing that kind of holds me back from jumping into an MMO specifically, is just the amount of time it requires. It is much more than my schedule allows. I would like to get back into Final Fantasy XIV. That is my current favorite MMO. But I've got a few things going on. It's occupying a little bit more of my time. And would kind of prevent me from spending the hundreds of hours necessary to really get to the end of that game. Maybe not hundreds, maybe just 100. But still, it's a long ways. And with games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, like, you've got tons and tons of content. Everywhere, every direction, there is content. In which case, like the article about difficulty preventing accessibility, There were some people who were commenting on, like, oh, they should just make all games easier because it's hard for a few people. In which case, a person could then say, oh, they should make all games smaller because this game is too big. In which case, I would say, no, that would be silly. Like, I think at the same time, we want these huge games with tons of stuff to do. Because we like to get our money's worth. Nobody likes shelling out $60 for a game, and then a few hours later they're done. I don't know why she did this dive over the side rail of the bridge. Maybe she was expecting it to be higher. Anyway, let's interrupt this conversation with, or this discussion with a conversation with Socrates about death and life.
Behold, I've kept myself alive.
It was
Good
the
job.
one job I gave you, Socrates. I knew you could handle it.
I
You,
would have
Socrates,
attempted
you
even
had
if
only
hadn't
one
told me
job.
to.
It's not as easy as it seems, staying alive. There's not many of us left.
Then let's pay tribute to them. Though they aren't here now, they were here once. Come with me. My opinion on death is a nebulous one because I know nothing about it. Therefore, I know I shouldn't be afraid.
I'm not afraid either.
Many are because they don't know what death holds for them. One can only trust that the gods know for certain. Think wisely, although no one can truly know anything. Think wisely, although
No, he only has one saying, which sounds like it should have come from a fortune cookie. Like you, like what if they had instead of praiseworthy sayings like, good things will come to you on the 14th, or other people like you very much. Like you had sayings from Socrates.
Phoebe.
Phoebe got a huge gravestone.
A little girl. I talked to her like she was already grown up.
which you did out of respect for her. Question your choices, Cassandra, but never doubt them.
Thank you for giving her the burial she deserved.
There are countless others here in Elysium. The blessed have earned that eternal happiness. One of them is our great Pericles.
Athens owes him a debt for all he's done.
They didn't call him the first citizen of Athens for nothing. A man of many contributions, but also a private man.
If only he had shared his burden.
We only knew him as he presented himself to be, but who's to say that wasn't his true self?
This war has taken so many. Even Brasidas fell.
Twice.
So, but as
It
a
took
Spartan,
2
he
knockdowns
fulfilled his duty
that were
and
almost
died
identical to each other.
I helped him all I could. He was my friend.
Your survival avenges him. He will be honored as a hero.
The people will remember how we brought down Cleon.
With
Apparently,
swords
Cerberus
and
found
knives.
Cleon on the beach. A
Actually,
war, perhaps?
Couldn't say. It's hard to recall what happens in the heat of battle.
like
Either
the whole
way, let
the
us
whole
say
battlefield
he's
might change in a snap.
dangerous for what he has done. And be certain, our friends wait for us in the light.
I drink to that.
Who am I to say no?
Alright, some like character epilogues going on here. That's pretty nifty. Ah, and the party guests.
Well Well, this has supplied me with plenty of new material for
You
my
know, I
next
never like
play.
it when,
Cassandra killed
like,
them all
it
as
cuts
an act
into
of
a scene,
espionage.
and everybody's laughing like somebody said something really funny, and then it goes straight into, like, the dramatic dialogue. Because it makes me feel like, the writer couldn't come up with a joke.
And to that, I raise my drink.
To us, who have persisted through everything, and to those who wanted to persist.
A tribute as good as your singing.
And to the gods.
Has she sang any time in this game?
Now, dear teacher, I think you should whisk me away for our private lesson.
I'm afraid I haven't had enough wine for that, Alcibiades.
Then someone fill his cup.
Are they joking about how he wants to bang Socrates, but Socrates isn't drunk enough? Because that's what it sounds like they're joking about. Also, if I didn't play as Cassandra, that would be a huge dude fest. The drink of choice for Greeks was wine mixed with water. That sounds kind of bland. While the Thracians, Egyptians, and Scythians brewed and drank beer, the early craft brewers of their time. But for now, let's
Choose your opponent.
head back into the arena, where I've got like a couple people I can actually fight. But let's go with Theoros, the Erupting.
Unpaid debts to collect.
I see. Anyone in particular come to mind?
And as you can tell, that's a mercenary. You got very generic dialogue for it. But at the very least, I won't have to fight wave after wave of his own men. I'll probably stop that joke now, because I've already referenced that line several times in several arena battles. Oh my. So I'm wielding Alexio's sword, which is probably why it glows like such. And there... Alright. Oh, okay, we both missed each other. One more. Another. There we go. Except killing mercenaries in the arena doesn't actually count towards the arena battles. It just counts towards killing the mercenaries in general, which is still useful. Alright, let's go back into the arena, except this time we're going to fight off Avant the Huntress. I'm going to skip directly to the Huntress, because otherwise it's just fighting waves of bad guys. And at the very least, the individual battles themselves are unique. Okay, now the Huntress is here, wearing a robe and no other armor. But I suppose I probably should deal with the cat first. And then now I can deal with the huntress. And nope. Are they? Okay, so she doesn't really have that much going for her then. Because if all she can do is just kind of light her spear on fire and have a tiger buddy. Then that's not exactly that much. I mean, like, I'm doing a terrible job at dodging her attacks, but there we go. But now she is dead. Ooh, and I got a fancy new bow. And I leveled up. I wonder if level 50 is the max level or if you can go beyond that. Oh, and I believe now that we've defeated her, we get more information about Skora.
Outside those of pleasure, fame, and glory. Tell me, Mistius, do you have anyone close to you? Friends, family, lovers?
I have people in my life. People that are important to me. Do you have that as well?
My daughter's very important to me.
Surely you have friends from your days in the arena.
I did.
I killed them in the arena.
Hero of the arena. The #1 champion.
Oh, yeah, I guess that is true.
They rest down the coast from here.
What about your family? Your daughter?
My beloved Anea. The first time I held her in my hands, I knew I'd never be able to kill again. She's the reason I stopped fighting, even if I can't disentangle myself from the arena entirely.
How long ago was that?
Years ago. Many years ago.
If you could put a number on that.
I won't push any further. But come see me fight.
I envy you, Mistios. You have everything to gain. Don't let it slip away. Choose your opponent.
Alright, let's fight Titos, the Rock of Athens. And then I'm going to have to move on because the next guy is level 50. And I'm not tough enough for that just yet.
You want the best! I said, do you want the best?
No, we want the worst.
Want the best!
No, no. The worst. The worst. Aww. Alright, and now the Titos the Rock. Definitely not Dwayne Johnson. Oh. He opens up with explosive arrows. Oh my gosh, okay. The camera was going nuts for a little bit. Alright, let's try it again. There we go. I probably should just heal now, yeah. Yeah, once again, like, I still feel that I fought, need a light. Like, that section of the arena was so dark that it, activated the hint, for using a torch. But yeah, ever since I defeated that one boar that that just shot, that farted poison everywhere, like I don't think any opponent in this game is going to reach that same level of difficulty. Definitely not Tito's, I tell you what. So that's 4 out of 5. There's one more arena. Ooh, he watched this one. I wonder if he's actually going to be the boss of the arena. Well, I won't be able to find out the answer to that for a while, because the next battle is a level 50. Ooh, that gave me a cultist clue.
To your positions!
So, what next?
We could go hunting.
I look like the type that can defend myself.
We won't hunt bears, Herodotus. We'll hunt liars, traitors. You know, the usual big game.
Ah, the worst kind of beasts. Where should we head?
You could spin the wheel any direction and you'll find a cultist. There's scum everywhere.
Nothing but time. Let's track them down.
Like said Zane, we have a cult to kill.
Oh yeah, I made her a lieutenant.
Think like the silent one? Have direction. We both have direction now.
Speaking of, where are we headed?
Wherever we want.
I won't be taking orders from you, just so you know.
But I'm the captain.
I also want to steer and choose where we're headed.
I don't think so.
Fine. Anyone can choose. Okay.
Sounds fair to me.
Oh. So this guy was also a cultist. That is also convenient, because now I don't have to look him up. You know, when the quests said the statue takes up half the island, I didn't really consider that when looking around for the island itself. I was expecting the island to actually have a name, like the Southern Sporadis as being a part of it, but rereading the statue takes up half the island just emphasizes, oh yeah, we're dealing with a very small statue. Or, I guess I should say, a very small island. One that might not necessarily have a name. But at the very least, it is the end result of this quest. So let us...
Incredible. Phidias was right. The artist has captured Poseidon in all his magnificence.
Yes, all of his magnificence. Ugh. You know, it's kind of weird that sometimes Cassandra does these, like, kind of little hops from one ledge to another, and then other times do, like, huge leaps up.
Got it.
Alright, since this is a small island, let's see what's going on here. There's probably some sort of alpha animal stalking about. Is it a tiger? Lion? I ain't scared of no lions. Also, this one seems to be... What on earth did I say that sounded like I was trying to talk to Siri? I don't know. I find myself, whenever I use the word theory, like, I guess Siri thinks that I'm talking to her, but with a lisp. Oh my. I wasn't even paying attention to how low my health had gotten. Ooh, Poseidon's trident. And I get the ability to breathe underwater. If I so choose. Nifty. See, the fact that,
Mount Pentelicos, but this marble is impressive.
the fact that, Marine and, Alexios both join you as, lieutenants on the boat, that makes sense because they're family now. But Nicholas and Stentor leaving the war effort just to sail around with me sounds a little bit like... like a little bit of fan service more than anything else. Like, hey, we need to give you a reward for completing the game. Here is our reward. Although I suppose there is the fact that one of my lieutenants has been Evie from Assassin's Creed Syndicate for a while now. So, who am I to talk? Okay, so there's a statue I'm looking for in this area. It is there.
Preserved for all time, sitting on his ass.
That mighty champion. So lazy. Oh yeah, he's just he's just sitting there in the nude.
The last one. Time to head back to Libya and Phidias to find out what all this means. This area will be well defended.
Actually, what is going on here? Like, I don't think I really need to be here, but... Okay. But for some reason it is under guard, so does that mean it's worth checking out? I guess in this case I'm saying yes.
Something happening over there?
Absolutely nothing at all. Did that get everybody? I think that got everybody. Oh, hello. What started him on fire? Did he get too close to that torch? And one more for good measure. You know, in theory, I could have avoided that by being sneaky. It seems that absolutely nothing is going on over here, but they just have a camp for no reason at all. Okay, so I never tried it out until now, but apparently you can fight underwater. I've always tried fighting sharks from the surface or just avoiding them entirely. But, yeah. Underwater sword fighting, that's a thing. Oh, it's a dolphin. Alright, now let's go take a look and see what inspecting all of those statues actually got us.
Vivius,
What?
I should have never doubted
He's
that you were
dead.
in danger.
Okay.
Here it is, the Skital. Now I can decode the messages. I will avenge you, Phidias. Rest assured of that.
I was expecting him to still be alive. Thank you for watching. Questions, comments, recommendations for something to play next? Comment down below or send it on over to itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. That's itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. So long for now.